Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Last of Us by Story Archives. I'm your host, Mario Busto, alongside
The other host, Zachary Newton. Welcome back.
We're back with Season 2, Episode 5, Feel Her Love.
Yeah.
Everybody feel her love. The mother's love. That's the prophet, right?
Yeah, that was great. Yeah, that's the prophet.
The prophet looks a lot like Hanrahan, or whatever this woman's name is. Hanahan? What's her name? Mike Shanahan? Kyle Shanahan? Duran?
Not
What's her
Duran
name?
Duran. Hanrahan.
Hanrahan.
Yeah.
Hanrahan has said a collective 7 words in this entire series so far. I feel like her core thing is to just not say the least amount of words as possible.
Makes
Stay
it more
looking as
intimidating.
intimidating as possible by not speaking. It's a good technique that I employ very frequently.
Yeah. Especially when
Right on.
you say something and you stop talking. You just let it sit there and hang.
Yeah, just let it sit.
I just had to do that earlier today. I said something and I just let there be like 20, 30 seconds of dead silence. Tell you what, it sticks the landing.
I actually don't do that very well, as our podcast listeners probably agree. So every episode of this season has been a banger.
Yeah.
There's just no way around it. There's been no fillers. It's all gas, no breaks. All entrees, no appetizers. It's just everything right in your face.
Mm-hmm.
And that epiphany I had midway through, I think it was episode 2, 3, possibly,
Mm-hmm.
where I just texted you and I was like, yeah, we got to cover it. It was just one of those things where like, it's definitely, was grade A material for a TV show. Way better than the video game.
Yeah.
And I'm a big video game player. I love playing video games. But the story is just, because it's condensed so much, you're able to get so much bang for buck. Now, you possibly could have had maybe one complaint in this episode, which was the convenience of Jesse showing up at the timing that he did.
Yeah.
Could we have perhaps gotten a scene or two of Jesse and Tommy in the aftermath of Ellie and Dina having left, discussing amongst themselves the idea to go? Or I guess it's pretty good in this scenario. I thought it was Tommy who had come to rescue them.
So did I.
I'll tell you, it's been a few years since I played the game. I don't recall a lot of things. I don't remember Hanrahan at all in the game. I don't remember Jesse showing up so early. But decent timing. I'm interested to see the reaction when he finds out that Dina's pregnant. I'm assuming he does not know. Well, obviously he doesn't know because Dina didn't know when she left.
She just found out like last episode, day 1 in Seattle. But yeah, there's a lot of material to work with. I think they're doing an incredible job. They're doing the game justice. They're making me want to go back and play the game, even though this game was like the hardest thing I've ever done in my life.
I'm really excited to see how Jesse's gonna take the competition for being a dad. I think that's gonna be dude, the memes, the I'm gonna be a dad memes have me dying.
Oh my god, they've been all over. They
have me dying, bro.
Yeah.
The one with Adrian Brody. Don't shoot me.
I saw one. Don't shoot. I'm retarded. Prove it. I'm gonna be a dad.
How do you know?
Shit's just all over the place. I can't get away from them.
No, the memes are insane, honestly.
I feel like there's not that many shows. Well, I'm probably sticking my foot in my mouth saying this, but I don't notice that many shows that we cover or that exist out there that just seem to like catch on to like the culture, and there's just like so much content created about it so rapidly. Like this has been, I think, one of the quickest I've seen turnarounds with new media, memes, whatever the case is. You're more into that world than I am, but I've picked it up a lot. I mean,
it could be because gamers are like heavy memers.
Mm-hmm.
So it could be because of that. And gamers don't give a shit.
No, that's totally fair.
They'll make fun of anything. You'll get some people who are like, don't say retarded. Stop making fun of this. Don't call girls chicks. Like, bro, shut up. Gamers will make fun of everything just to make fun of it. Just for no reason.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. So you're gonna get like no matter what, and they'll still like it. They'll still tune in week to week.
Yeah.
But we can make fun of it. Why not?
Well, I mean, what is it? You shit on things you love like that. I feel like that's just the gamer way.
I've never heard that quote before.
It's the best quote ever.
Shit on
Don't
things you
take
love.
that the wrong way.
It's true. It's like an affectionate way of showing love to someone, like kind of
Yeah,
just
it's
making
like
fun of them
tough love. It's
constantly.
bro love. Yeah,
Yeah, I do that with my friends.
yeah,
Make fun of them.
yeah.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Um, Interesting episode though, man. I mean, like I told you, I haven't actually said I wanted to rewatch an episode all season for the
Mm-mm.
pod, and I actually wanted to rewatch this one. I didn't have time, but I did want to watch it. They're just handling the sequences like really well. The hospital sequence was awesome.
It was great.
Uh, the they could be making the scars a little too.
Not intimidating.
Well, this was the first episode that it was finally like, yeah, these guys rip your stomach open so your intestines fall out,
Yeah.
and they're kind of freaky.
But we
They're
kind of
very
knew that.
freaky. They're scarier than the wolves, but they should have made the whistles a little bit more intimidating, in my opinion.
Yeah.
You don't understand, like the people who are listening to this who haven't played the game, when you are crawling through high grass and it's like, and the graphics are really good in The Last of Us 2,
Oh, they really are. Yeah.
and the combat is really realistic, and you just hear, and you don't know if they've seen you or if they're trying to find you, and they're just communicating in this whistle language that you can't quite comprehend. Also, the dogs. You got the real sense of fear with dogs. Dogs are such a pain in the ass in stealth situations.
Yes.
Like, oh my gosh, I found it a little unrealistic how quickly Ellie was crawling through that grass,
I
and
know
that
she
they
was
didn't just
moving
let
like a
that dog.
rabbit. I
They
legit
should've-
thought it was an animal, like a distraction or something.
I would have just let the dog go through the hole. Why not?
Uh,
Would have pulled Ellie out in 2 seconds.
well, because you'd have to go in and get it, and they obviously didn't clear that building.
Yeah, true.
So it's
True.
probably a good thing they didn't let the dog go run in there. But yeah, no, I do agree. I feel like they could have made the scars a bit more intimidating. Like we knew from the last episode that they rip everybody's guts out. I mean, everybody they had hanging in that room, for example, happened here. But yeah, it kind of felt more like a side story in this episode for some reason to me. I wanted to see a little bit more of that.
Of what?
The scars, like just doing what they do best.
Well, this might have been the first time in the series where I'm like they felt a little bit rushed through the park.
Yeah.
Like Ellie getting out of the park that easily was a little bit too convenient.
Oh, it was instant. Yeah.
Even Jesse and Dina being able to escape so easily was a little bit too convenient. But nonetheless, you got to keep it moving. You got to keep it pacey. I think there's 2 episodes left. How many episodes
There's
are left
2
in the
episodes
season?
left. I believe there's 7 episodes in the season. But yeah, I agree. Like I think they did move through it too quick, and that's probably what attributes to the fact that the scars feel a little less intimidating than they could be. Because I mean, they just got away so fast. Like it made them feel easy. And they're not. Like if you ever want to find anybody who has played the game, just go outside in a public setting and whistle like this. That's all you
Yeah.
gotta do.
I do know now where they're going to end this season, but I'm not going to say.
Hmm.
But I know where they're going to end the season for sure. I'm sure we'll get a little bit of Abby perspective next week, having like that Nora's dead. I'm assuming we
need
get a
to.
little bit of Abby, but maybe not. I'm not sure.
We need to get some Abby. Like we can't leave the show hanging at the end of this season without having more Abby time on screen. Like she's the target. Like the motivation for the majority of this season, if not the whole season, is Abby. So I think we're gonna see her for sure.
Do we though? Because it's kind of one of those things where she's like it's the reverse scenario. It's like when Abby was hunting for Joel. You know, it's you hear about where she might be. Is she there? I don't know. We don't know what Nora told Ellie. Ellie beat her to death, and that scene was great, by the way.
Oh, it was phenomenal. Well done.
I don't know if I'm making up memories now, but I visibly remember in the game being like there, my mind switching from she's not going to tell you anything to, oh, brilliant tactic, she might tell you something. And it was really and then Ellie goes back to beating her, which I thought was a little bit kind of dumb tactically speaking. Because the gun goes from threat to, wait a minute, she's going to be infected. Does she want to live as an infected person? Now the gun becomes mercy. you know? So when she puts the gun in her holster, I was like, that's such a
Yeah.
brilliant thing. Like, oh, now you're gonna actually beg me. Like it kind of like the leverage reversed. You
Yeah.
know, I'm immune. Now you have to beg me to end your life because you don't want to live like an infected person,
Mm.
and I might withhold that from you. And knowing the way Ellie beat her to a pulp, wouldn't be surprised if Ellie just left her to be infected for the rest of
Left the
her
brain stem in
existence.
place or something.
Something.
I wonder if you like would you be awake in a sense of like you cognitively know what's going on?
Was it infected?
Yeah. I mean like
I don't think so.
these like stalkers, like these smart infected make me feel that way. Like I feel like there's a human brain behind there. It doesn't feel I mean, I guess it's
No,
kind of
it's the
animalistic, but still.
cordyceps. I'm a little bit fuzzy on the scientific thing with the cordyceps, but my understanding is it like it hijacks your brainstem type of thing. Does it not? A sort of
I
like a
think
fungus living inside of you
yeah.
type of situation.
Yeah. Well,
It's disgusting.
yeah,
I was
it
thinking
is
back to
it is
that.
pretty nasty.
I was thinking back to the old lady who was making the cookies in season one and episode one. And then when her mouth opens, I think, and you see little worms. Like, oh
Yeah.
God, this is
That was
disgusting, bro.
freaky, man.
You imagine you're gonna go kiss a girl, and she's one of these. It doesn't happen in the show. Didn't that happen? Or no? Am I making
Probably.
that up? Or am I thinking of a different zombie scenario
You might be thinking of
where
a
like
different zombie
somebody
scenario.
went to go kiss somebody, it was just like these worms in their mouth,
I mean,
like the
I'm sure it's been
fungus thing.
done many a time.
Oof,
Yeah, it's freaky.
many a time, like in movies, hopefully not real life.
Yeah. Yeah, not real life, bro. What?
You know, um, is Ellie too blasé? Well, so we open up, the episode. We get the backstory of Hanrahan, the Elise's son Leon, who Ellie sees, coughing out spores on the wall, half dead, half alive. Who
Mm.
knows? Brilliant kind of setup, foreshadowing of we're gonna end up in that basement of hell.
Yeah.
But is Ellie too blasé with the planning of this thing? Like in the beginning, Dina's taking this very seriously, triangulating signals and trying to figure out where to go, who's who, that type of thing. And Ellie's just like, you know,
Yeah, but
not very, like my dad was just, Joel's just killed, not very grounded. And you don't really see it until she starts playing guitar on the stage and she stops.
mhm.
And it's almost like, wait a minute, why am I here? There's moments where it's almost like she's still a kid and she's like, you're like, when are you going to kind of serious up a little bit here? Or, oh, yeah, I brought a protractor. Really? No. I don't know. I would get annoyed if I was Dina in that situation. Like, people who can't take anything serious are annoying.
Oh
You
yeah.
gotta be able to turn it on a little bit.
No, they definitely are annoying, but I mean, I feel like it's just Ellie. Like I like that reminds me so much of her from the game, where it's like kind of her way of coping with everything. It's just her intense dark humor and disassociation with like everything that's actually right around her. That's why she always goes running, guns blazing into every situation.
It's true. As a wise man once said, you shit on the things you love.
Hell
So,
yeah. I'm gonna print that on a shirt.
I'm going to be the greatest thing you've ever said on the podcast.
Oh God.
On your tombstone, it's going to say, he shit on the things he loved. He died as he lived. Hey, my sister hit me with that Mad Men line the other day.
Which
You
one?
remember when Don's secretary, the old lady, dies?
Mm.
And Roger Sterling comes up and he goes, she died as she lived. She's her
Yeah.
desk.
Such a good show.
No. Speaking of shows, Peaky Blinders coming back. They're doing the movie and they're gonna do a season. I think
Yeah.
you're the one who told me about that.
Yeah, they're doing another season after the movie, which I'm excited about. I'm also not excited about the fact that they
Oh, I'm
announced it
super
before the
excited.
movie. I wish they announced
Oh,
it
that
after the
I'm
movie.
not excited.
I,
I
I
don't
hated
like
the fact that they
the
announced it
timing
before
of
the
that.
movie. I did hear one other thing about it. I don't know if it's true or not. About the time setting. Is that anything you want me to mention?
No, don't tell me.
All
I
right, I
don't want
won't.
to
I
know
won't tell
these
you Because half the stuff I hear about the new season, I'm like, I don't want to know, guys.
It's too much.
Don't
Yeah, it's too
spoil shit
much.
for me. Come on.
Yeah, the Brits got to chill with the leaks over there.
Damn,
It's
man.
crazy.
But
I'm
I am
surprised.
super excited for that movie. I tell my wife, I'm like, there's one movie I'm watching later this year, at least a couple of times.
Shouldn't it be in the summer? It's dropping.
I I haven't seen a release date. I just heard it's supposed to be late in this year.
But I want that to be in theaters. I don't want to watch that
It's
at
gonna be
home.
in
I want
theaters.
to. Okay.
Yeah, it's gonna be in theaters, and then it's gonna hit Netflix. So it's like
Beautiful.
we're gonna have to go to the theater probably a couple times.
Hey guys, just in case you don't know, we are the number one. Actually, we used to be the number one podcast for Peaky Blinders. You might still be. When you type Peaky Blinders podcast, we might be one of the first ones that pop up still. So yeah, subscribe if you want to see any of that. I'm also hearing good things. This is a good time to subscribe and like this video, by the way, to help us get discovered more on YouTube. Because we're not putting videos anymore on Spotify. In case you haven't noticed, we will only be giving the video experience to YouTube subscribers. So if you want, from here on out, to see our wonderful faces as you're cooking dinner, making some food,
Eating breakfast, whatever.
you know, doing a workout at home, eating breakfast, eating all sorts of things, you'll have to sub to YouTube. So, anyways, continuing on. You know what other show's getting rave reviews?
No, what?
Mobland.
I have been seeing a lot about that, and surprisingly, one of the shows my wife also wants to watch. So maybe that's she
the
mentioned
Michaela meter.
Mobland to me before you mentioned Mobland to me. We haven't watched it yet,
Interesting.
so maybe there's something there.
I've had 3 people in the last 2 days mention Mobland, how good it is.
Isn't Tom Hardy in that?
He is.
Yeah,
And Pierce Brosnan.
man. Anything to see some Tom Hardy in a show or a movie. He's incredible.
So back to the show. The episode title was Feel Her Love, which is interesting because I don't feel like we got a lot of the scars in this episode to kind
No.
of title the episode this way.
I was kind of expecting a backstory of the scars when I read the title of this episode. Didn't get that at
Yeah,
all.
same. I thought it was going to be way heavier on scar
Yeah.
stuff in this episode.
Literally the only thing that tied into the title was the mural on the wall, Feel Her Love. That was it. Nothing else in this episode tied
Yeah.
into the title.
You're right. I don't know if it was a well-placed title
No.
for this.
What would have been a more appropriate title? Because if we're going down the logic of how they named this episode, you've got 2 options. You've got Feel Her Love, or you've got Feel This, Bitch. I mean, I think
I
the
don't-
latter is a bit more eye-catching.
I caught myself because I was gonna I was gonna say feel this pipe, but
You did anyways.
because Ellie at the end. But I don't know what I would have called it. Feel this bitch is funny though.
It is funny,
It's funny.
and it feels very characteristic of Ellie, so felt appropriate.
I guess maybe they had the same feeling I'm having right now. It's like, what would we have named this one? The basement, the hospital, Nora. He got what he deserved.
I probably would have put my vote in for Feel This, Bitch. Yeah.
There is a sort of. We can talk about this, I guess, towards the. I guess we could talk about it because the episode feels like it was really short.
It was short.
Well,
It was,
well, it
I
was.
mean, literally like 35 minutes, maybe 40.
Like it was preparation, head out, see the dead scars, get to the place, stalker engagement, which was terrifying. We'll talk about that more deeply.
Yeah, it was
Actually, we talk
terrifying.
about that now. Those stalkers, they did such a great job in that scene with, setting them up again, and then Ellie almost immediately realizing what type of clicker this was.
Yeah, the one that almost, well, did get her back in.
Yeah, it actually did bite her, which is crazy because she gets tackled by about 4 or 5 of them in this episode.
And is unscathed.
Unscathed.
Yeah.
Unscathed.
Unscathed.
I could have swore there was something with that high. Why not? That was a high voltage fence, wasn't it? Could you have electrified lecture? You know what I mean? Electrified
That's what
the
I
fence.
thought was going on,
Yeah,
but
same
there
here.
wasn't any like water on the floor or anything. So like, I
I
mean,
was
you would
I
have
was
had to have run into the fence.
I thought that they were gonna. So when help comes and it's all blurry and very much like grenade
Yeah.
just went off and nobody knows what's going on. I thought it could be either be Tommy or it's the wolves. Like that wolves are gonna save him or something like that for some reason. And then no, it was Jesse. I really was not expecting Jesse at all.
No.
And I could be wrong. I am probably wrong. Um, I guess Jesse shows up this early in the game, but I just didn't remember that at all.
I didn't remember it either. For a brief moment, I thought I was the wolves because, I mean, they're outside the room that they're in. And then I thought it was Tommy next. I didn't even suspect Jesse, to be honest.
Well, the wolves are technically not right next to where they are. They are in the building next to them, which I was
That's what
very
I mean.
confused by that.
Yeah.
I might have not paid that good attention, but they're the building next. They're like on top of the roof with the overhead, lights. And then when Ellie goes through that park area, that's when she sees the hospital and makes her decision to go there.
Yeah.
Which very convenient for her. That was seems to have been a short stay. Although I'd love to see how she's going to get out of that basement, considering Elise already said there's only one staircase out of there.
And it's been sealed
So,
off.
so they better not just like fast forward us to the theater next week. We should be picking up after she killed Nora. Because how the hell do you get out of there? Everyone
Hmm.
knows that two people went down there. The only thing I can think of is that they're not expecting anybody to come out. You get me? So
I get you. I get you, but it's sealed off. Like it is completely sealed off. I remember this part of the game being such a slog. Like the chapter in the hospital took forever to play through. And I'm almost
yeah, it
wondering
did take forever.
like what if we don't pick up with Ellie
Well, I
next like the
remember.
rest of the season?
I remember that exact scene when Nora's running through the hospital lobby and she says, "Get her, shoot her."
Mm-hmm.
And when she's running through there, I remember that like kind of vividly from the game
Yeah.
because you were stuck there in the lobby having to like kill everybody before you could continue to chase after
Mm,
her. So the show has done a really good job of getting rid of those unrealistic Rambo situations.
yeah.
They've completely creatively decided to axe that almost entirely. There is no action sequence that requires Ellie to gun down 10 people.
Yeah.
There's just not because
No.
they know I think it's just not realistic,
It's not.
you know?
I mean, she does gun down a lot of clickers and infected, but that's a bit different.
Gives you a lot more appreciation for Joel being able to just gun down a whole military hospital.
Oh yeah, incredible. It's kind of impressive.
Yeah. Formidable.
Mm.
Um I guess we could talk about Nora now.
Why not?
That's one way to react when someone's got a gun to your freaking face. He got what he deserved. That's pretty
It's
even
ballsy.
it's stupid. But
Well, there's that too.
you know what I mean? Like you're thinking like even if you don't feel that way, you don't say that.
Generally speaking, no, not a very wise thing to say. I could understand the fact that she doesn't really know this girl's relationship to Joel and the significance or significant role that she plays. Um, so I mean, she may very well believe he did
Well,
get what he deserved, right?
true. Well, because at this point she doesn't understand that Ellie is the girl, the immune girl. You're
Yeah,
her, right? So she doesn't understand that Joel did all that for her.
yeah,
Um, we also get that moment where Ellie says she knows what Joel did and she's still gonna avenge him,
yeah,
which is her kind of coming to grips because she treated Joel like dirt
yeah, really
um,
bad.
after that. Which and nobody brings up our logic, which is more along the lines of like, hey, was killing Ellie the only way you could have gotten a cure? Could we not have like gotten her blood and like spun it around in one of those like stem cell things or
Yeah,
the way
like
people like
do some
ionize?
testing. Don't just Don't just immediately jump to the thing that's going to slaughter your only hope.
Exactly, right? Like, what if that goes wrong?
Yeah.
So I think they needed to set that up more. They didn't. They needed to as well in the game. They didn't. So, yeah, not a lot of sympathy for the doctor whose first, plan A was kill the only girl who's immune to this.
Mm-hmm.
You know, don't know if the audience agrees with me on that, but that's the route I would take for compartmentalizing what Joel did.
Yeah.
Did Joel need to shoot the doctor in the head? No, he didn't. But in the game, the doctor takes a scalpel out.
Yeah.
So
He does.
in the
He's
show, he's
waving
a
in the air.
nice little guy. Just hey, you can't be in here.
Like an innocent bystander. Yeah.
In the game, though, he's standing over Ellie's unconscious state and has a scalpel in his hand. So you got to get shot. So that's just the way it goes.
Let's also be fair though. Like, Joel had to plow through like a bunch of people to get
A lot
to,
of people.
the room, and the
Yep.
doctor, wielding a weapon or not wielding a weapon, was the one that was going to kill Ellie via this medical procedure that might help somebody potentially, the world potentially, but still was the one that basically had the his finger on the trigger.
I don't think I'm making that up, am I? The doctor did pull a scalpel out.
I remember there being a scalpel, and maybe I'm making that up so that I feel better about the fact that I shot the guy in the face. But I'm pretty sure, there was a scalpel involved. Like, he had it in his hand. Like, I remember it so vividly, though. I don't like the fact that
Okay.
you're laughing, though. Did he not?
Well, I found a Reddit post. When you realize that you didn't kill the surgeon on The Last of Us 1, so The Last of Us 2 is non-canon.
Oh.
The game forces you to kill that guy.
Yeah.
So let me see. Let's pull up the scene.
Maybe he doesn't.
This is the show.
The device itself doesn't appear to be a scalpel. Rather, it's a medical instrument that emits a spark.
All right, Joel opens the door. Joel sneaks in.
Walk me through it. What you seeing?
He's definitely holding something.
So the thing I just saw said it was something that
No, dude,
emits a spark.
he runs over to the thing. I knew I wasn't making it up. What are you doing in here? He runs to the counter and picks up a knife or something. And then he makes you. So what he does is the doctor stands between you and being able to get to Ellie. So the only way to get to Ellie, get her off the bed, is to shoot this guy.
Yeah,
It's the only way.
And he does grab something.
Now, could he have shot this guy in the foot? Yes. Some people, that's what the people are saying in the Reddit, is that you can shoot him in the leg. But the thing is, no matter what you do to this guy, you could just go up to him and punch him in the face. He'll die because the game forces you to kill him.
Yeah.
Now, you could kill everybody else in the room too, but he chooses not to.
Well, the video I'm watching from the game has
he
Joel
shoots everybody?
He has Joel flamethrower the doctor,
Oh,
and
yeah,
then
he
goes and
killed-
shotguns the nurses in the face.
Wow.
This guy clearly was upset when he went back and replayed this part of the game.
To be honest, there would be no Last of Us 2 if Joel did kill everybody in that room. So,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Oh, no, I guess not.
No, because
then he technically...
people knew he was there. Like, ain't nobody in here that does not know Joel's the one that just killed everybody.
Well, they said he killed everybody in the hospital. I guess he didn't kill everybody.
Well, I mean,
Anyways, we're kind of like potato, whatever. Splitting hairs here. Anyways, my favorite part of this, whole episode is the fact that there's something going on with Ellie. On this trek for revenge, it's going to turn into one of these old samurai stories of like, don't lose your soul on revenge. Like at a certain point, you have to let go, you know? And that there is that bit of an element when she turns on those red lights. It feels like you're in a nightmare.
Hmm.
You're like in a walking dream, and what you're watching is like the losing of innocence, any semblance of innocence that she has. She is now going down this dark path. And it's red. It's red as blood. Red is bad, you know.
Yeah.
And she's got someone who's already dying, and she chooses to prioritize continuing her revenge path, which is interesting, right? Because she chooses to not just kill Nora, but to torture her like they did
Yeah.
to Joel. And then we don't get to see the full end of that scene. Why? Because I don't think the show's ready to make you view Ellie the way you do Abby, right?
Yeah.
And also, in the game, you're very eager to pick up that pipe. So it's one of those things where, you know, you're kind of with Ellie, especially the way Nora reacts is not
Yeah.
very humble. It's not very like, hey,
It's very
nobody
cocky.
deserves that.
Yeah.
It's very much like, we're not sorry. Okay, whatever. So you're kind of cheering Ellie on, but it is interesting that the scene right after it is her waking up, and it's like her dad waking her up. It's like a teenager being woken up by their dad on a Saturday or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And so you kind of get that distinct difference between bloodthirsty Ellie, who's on a path of revenge with
Yeah.
no sense of regard for her humanity, and you get the version of her that she is trying to get back in some way. So
Yeah, I mean, they got to be careful with not making Ellie a hateable character because, I mean, anybody doing very gruesome things can cause some disgust for that individual. But look, I thought the scene was very fitting. The pipe beating Nora in just like they did Joel. It's a little bit of closure like, in a lot of ways. Felt good. I'm sure to Ellie kind of felt good to watch, to be honest. After seeing them
when
kill
she
Joel early
well
on.
when she said the thing about he got what he deserved, that was it. That was
Yeah.
it for me.
Yeah.
At that point,
That one kind of
I
puts you
took
over
that
the edge.
personally.
Yeah.
Yeah, I took that personally at that point.
Yeah. You're like, you son of a.
Yep, agreed.
Great episode, though.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm really
so
interested
great
to see how
episode.
she's going to get out of this basement. That I am very much looking forward to.
Yeah. I will agree with what you said earlier that this is probably the one episode that they may have rushed a little too much. Like, I feel like we could have done with another. I mean, shoot, dude, another 5 or 10 minutes. Like, I don't mean like
Yeah,
double the length of the episode, but give me another five
yeah.
or 10 minutes. Give me a little backstory of the
I
scars
think
or
I think
something else.
maybe if I would like, okay, Mario's director's notes. Not that I'm any better than these guys. They are above in terms of what they're doing on this show.
Hmm.
Um, if I could though, if I could say like, where would I have extended this? I would have extended the Scar scene in the park. I would have
Yeah.
extended that a bit, and I would have extended the Dina scene. I think I would have extended that a bit more. Which with the stalkers, I think I would have built up that a little bit more. Perhaps a little bit more of the espionage, Ellie going through the hospital to get to Nora, where she
Yeah.
is. That felt a little bit rushed.
Yeah, it
So
kind
maybe
of kind of
those
felt
three
like
sections.
Batman. She just appeared out of nowhere there.
I think you had about 3 minutes to each of those, maybe 5 minutes to the Dina and Ellie thing.
Hmm.
Considering how epic it was that Jesse went and saved them, I think that would have been a little bit better.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall, can't really complain. The season's been awesome, awesome so far.
Yeah. I'm sad that we literally only have 2 episodes left, man.
That is sad. Do you think we're gonna get the other half of the season? I'm assuming we'll get it at the end of this year.
I would really hope so. I mean, this feels less like
It might.
a going from season 2 to season 3 and more from like a season part 1 to season 2 part 1 to season 2 part
Let's
2.
let's look it up. Is Last of Us
I mean, it feels a lot more like
2
what they did
season?
with
Last of Us
oh
season.
gosh, Stranger Things, where they kind of did that like two-parter. They broke it up on Netflix.
Let's see if it's already done filming. Oh, wow.
What? How long we gotta wait?
Last of Us star Isabella Merced, aka Dina, said that filming is not expected to begin on season 3 until all the way in 2026.
Oh my god.
Hold on. That's baloney.
Thank God.
Hold on, no, AI is telling me something differently, but AI's been pretty bad lately with this.
Yeah, it's
Okay, it may not film till 2026. That is the word on the street.
wow.
But there was a rumor that it was going to start on June 30th in 2025 in Bridge Studios, Vancouver, British Columbia.
Man,
Which, by the way, uh, not like almost nothing's getting filmed in California anymore with these
I've been hearing a
shows.
lot about that.
Yeah, there's been a big stink about that. In fact, now I think productions are going to get a tariff on them if you're filming outside the states
I heard
or
about
something like
that too.
that. They're
Yeah.
trying
Trying
to
to
bring productions,
bring
keep it
production
here.
into the US again.
Yeah, I mean, besides even before the tariffs, as someone who who works in production, talks to people who are in LA, there has been a freaking exodus, and you see it on a large scale. You see what's happening with the studio system. Even Wahlberg is building his studio in Las Vegas.
Hmm.
De Niro's building his in upstate New York. McConaughey and Harrelson want to make Texas the new Hollywood. There's a lot of people making a stake for new making new versions of Hollywood, which is my friend Isaac, who we interviewed on the Story Archives,
Hmm.
our long talk series. I forgot what we were calling that. Conversations,
Combos.
combos. I don't know what we were calling it, but anyways, he sent me something that was really interesting because Hollywood started. At first, there was like a monopoly. I think it was Edison who had a monopoly on using a certain way of film. And so people had to escape out to California. And so indie films were like blowing up in California.
Hmm.
And now California had such a chokehold that they were abusing their power. And so then people started going to Georgia and North Carolina and all these different spots. Florida used to have more. Now we're starting to get a lot more back. But there was an exodus, and I think it's going to continue. I think you'll be able to do anything from anywhere, and I think that's already the case. But it is interesting to see. They're shooting this in British Columbia. This is one of the best shows that's come out in a long time,
It's
in my
incredible.
opinion.
Yeah.
And people love post-apocalyptic stuff, so these types of shows blow up. I'm almost shocked that season 2 is better than season 1, but I think it is. I think
I
season
think
2
it
has
is,
been
I think
better.
it is too. Season 1 really kind of like I don't
First
know. I feel like
episode was incredible.
it was freaking
Incredible.
great. It was one of the best like openings to like a show I've seen.
Ever,
God, I love that.
ever, hands down, like just insanely good.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, but season 2, I'd say on par and delivering harder. But then again, my expectations were super low, so that might be playing a factor.
My expectations weren't quite as low as yours were. Like I was I mean, for those that don't know, we were contemplating covering the show partially because of, Jill's death. Like that was one of the big things. Like we knew it was coming. And I was okay with that. I wanted to see if they were gonna keep me after he died with, having an interesting storyline. And they've done it. They've knocked it out of the park.
Yeah,
I've been
agreed.
super impressed with this. And I hope I am as we continue into the next season or so. I kind of feel like even at the rate we're going, and you can tell me if you disagree. I feel that even at the rate that we're going right now, we could probably see a total of 3 seasons covering Game 2. So like a 4-season show in total.
No,
I feel like you could do it. I mean, if you got 60 plus hours of gameplay and storyline,
not
you could do it.
not at the pace that they're moving right now. Nope.
Not if they keep the pace that they're moving on everything
No
here. If they
need.
drop in a couple fillers, they could do it.
No need. No fillers. Don't do fillers anymore, guys. Fillers are gonna kill TV. If we freaking do fillers, we'll kill TV as being a beautiful medium. TV is great because you can expand upon stories.
Well,
But the
that
moment we start adding these bullshit fillers is when you start getting these. Look, I'm gonna use Yellowstone as an example. That universe, the latest season of 1923 on Paramount is one of the worst second seasons of anything I've ever watched. Okay, the whole season is a filler. The whole thing, it's horrible. The whole thing is bad. And I like Taylor Sheridan a lot. I like his stuff a lot. That is not to the quality of the stuff he puts out there. It was not. And that is a perfect example of a show having an amazing audience that
Yeah.
supports everything you do, and the show just being shite. I mean, the first season of 1923 was amazing.
Well, Mario,
Okay, what?
remember you shit on the things you love.
This is true.
Oh, sorry.
This
Keep
is
going.
true.
Keep going. Finish
That is good.
it.
No, it's just it's bad. I don't want to say too much because it might be giving spoilers for people. But no, it was horrible.
I mean, look,
Even this
I'm not
last
a
White
fan
Lotus
of.
season, this last White Lotus season
It was not great. It was not great. I'm not a big fan of fillers either. I absolutely hate them. But that's why I love like miniseries on
miniseries. Yeah.
all of these platforms like Chernobyl. It's freaking great. Band of Brothers, great. The Pacific, great. Like there's so many great miniseries out there. And it's because it's just like it feels like a movie. A miniseries to me feels like it's one big masterpiece
Yeah,
that they were
agreed.
able to expand on and tell the story in a more meaningful way. But with so many TV shows,
The actual
man, the
film
people
though,
just shit
Zach.
the bed a lot of the times though.
So the only thing is the only reason like the film will never be replaced, like film will never be replaced, is because there is something to having a. You can't put everything in the film. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so it's a standalone work of art. Whereas a mini series feels a little cheapened because, and I don't actually believe this, but I'm saying like if you think about it, is because you're just getting almost too much. Like you couldn't make the creative decision on how to condense that into just a standalone film. You
What
needed 3 hours,
there
4 hours, 5 hours.
yeah, there is a
You know,
very fine line there of like this should have been a movie. They should have spread this out a little more. I feel like I would look once you start getting into the territory of like a 4+ hour movie, that's when I
oh, it's
start to feel
horrible.
like
Yeah, it's not
make it a
good.
mini
It's not
series or something. Like I
like
need
the
a
Irish.
break.
The last
Whew.
like three Scorsese films, like The Irishman, is like you gotta sit down like 3 times to finish The Irishman.
I have it on I've had it on my list. I've started it twice and I don't have it as somebody who has a daughter. It just like has to work and do whatever else. I don't have the time to sit down and enjoy it. And I'm the kind of person that likes to sit down and enjoy something in one sitting, right? Like the complete work, whatever it is. Not many, many, many episodes of something. Like I'll probably watch two, but if it's a movie, I feel like I have to sit down and watch the whole thing in one go.
Are you saying you don't have the time because you can't sit down to watch it in one sitting, or because you just have chosen not to watch the movie
I
in
don't have
two
the time
sittings?
to watch it in one sitting. And I don't want to break it. Like if I have to break it up, it's going to be so long before I continue it again. So that's why.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I'll give you an example. Sinners, the movie Sinners that just came out. I loved it. I would have loved to see in it like 2 episodes. Give me like 1 hour and then give me another hour and a half. I would have loved that because the world was interesting to me
Yeah.
that he was building. But anyways, categories.
Let's start with favorite character of the episode. There's not many. There's not many characters in this episode.
I think Ellie finally gets one from me.
Yeah,
She finally gets one.
you kind of have to. This one's
Five
not a
episodes in.
Dina one for me. I mean, we did get the whole Dina
Could be Jesse though.
backstory thing with her being a kid and her first kill, but it didn't do it for me. So I'll give it to Ellie as well. How about favorite scene of the episode though? We're probably gonna be on the same page with this. Would be my guess.
I mean, it's got to be the Nora confrontation at the very end. It's got to be it. But the stalker scene was, the stalker scene was a little short. So I'm gonna give it to the Nora getting a pipe to the
Yeah, the
to the
pipe down.
kneecap.
Yeah.
Yeah, the pipe down.
Yeah, the beat down was great. Yeah, I'll give it that as well. Favorite line?
The thing Nora says to her, which was the
He got what he deserved.
no, the you're the girl. You're real. That I always love those moments in a show when someone's almost like a mythical figure. Although
Yeah.
it looked like it went a little bit to Ellie's head in this moment. It was like,
Eh.
yeah, I'm famous, chick. I can breathe these spores in. Yeah.
I mean, I think you'd kind of be high on adrenaline in that situation too. You jump down an elevator shaft into a bunch of spores. You have your prey laid out in front of you. You'd feel like a boss.
I'm not gonna lie here. You know what's really dumb?
Jumping down an elevator shaft?
Knowing that when you jump down this elevator shaft, you're already dead. And how
Mm.
about? Oh no, she didn't know.
Yeah,
That's
she
right
didn't know.
because
She did it because she thought it would kill
Hanrahan
Ellie and protect Abby.
and because Hanrahan made the decision to not tell anybody that the
There's
whole
that too,
shit was
yeah.
infected. So that's the reason she jumped down there. So I take that back. Sorry, Nora. R.I.P. But I'm gonna say that's not the thing that was stupid. The thing that was stupid to me was, hey guys, shoot her. And then you run in the opposite direction of where all the soldiers are who can shoot her.
Yeah.
How about this?
Run to them.
How about you go out the front doors to the front of the hospital where all the floodlights and the guys with the assault rifles are pointing down and say, come out here, Ellie. Yeah, come on out here with your little pistol. Come on. How about that? Catch me outside.
How
You know what I
about-
mean?
Yeah. She probably would have lived a lot longer.
I think this would have been the last of Ellie. Put it that way.
Yeah.
Not going to be a dad. Jesse's going to be able to take the role over.
Yeah. So long.
What was your favorite line, pal?
My favorite line. I mean, I do like the one where I'm talking, bro.
My bad, my bad.
I like the one that you mentioned where she's just like, "Oh, you're real." Like, yeah, I agree that's fun. I'm not picking that. I'm not picking that.
Oh.
Mine was going to be, bro, you're such a dickhead. Mine was gonna be the whole "he got what he deserved" line because I feel like that's the thing that kind of pushed Ellie over the edge in this episode. So
it had me picking up a pipe.
I know, right? So I got to give it to that. Anything that causes that much of a visceral reaction, I think you have to give it the award.
Yeah, true. Anything left?
Not unless you got something else. I mean, you want to
Don't.
anywhere you. I don't like the whole like where do you think we're going from here conversation with us having played the game because it's like yeah we could be wrong but I also don't want to like give away spoilers, you know.
All right, I'm gonna spoil everybody right now.
All right.
So what's gonna happen on the next episode of Last of Us is thank you for listening to this episode by Story Archives. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you're liking Last of Us as much as we are. And that you're excited for these next 2 episodes. It is appointment viewing at this point in time, and it's a nice ushering in of the summer season. We got a bunch of shows coming out over the summer. We got a bunch of great movies coming out. We got freaking Sinners out in theater. They're going to do the IMAX re-release. We got Mission Impossible, The Last Reckoning Part 2 coming out. We got the F1 movie coming out. We got The Bear Season 4 coming out. We got Foundation Season 3 coming out. We got Mobland roaring through Paramount Plus at the moment. We got Game of Thrones, Night of the Seven Kingdoms coming out. I mean, we are stacked, locked, and loaded. That's a summer show, I think.
Is that what they're titling it? A Night of the Seven Kingdoms? Oh yeah.
I believe so.
How about that?
When's the release?
I will look it up. Release
Night
date.
of the Seven Kingdoms release date.
June 15th. Damn, June.
Wow.
What?
Is it going to take us right? Is Last of Us going to take us straight into it?
No, we've only got 2 weeks left of this, so we'll have like a week or two gap.
Interesting that they did that.
My goodness, June 15th. Oh, that's fun.
When is Drops of God Season 2 coming out?
God. Season 2 release. December of this year.
Release date? Are you sure about that? That's according to this AI thing, bro. This thing is always wrong.
I've had good luck with the AI stuff. So, I don't know.
Okay, this show is amazing, guys. Apple TV, Drops of God. That show, Friends and Neighbors on Apple, is doing a nosedive at the moment.
Yeah, I just caught up on it yesterday.
Disappointed. I'm disappointed right now at the current trajectory of the show.
It's not great.
Also, his ex-wife is the most unlikable character. If you wanted to see the most unlikable character in the history of television shows, Go watch Friends and Neighbors and
But
go see John Hamm's ex-wife.
you know what? You know what
Great job,
though?
Amanda Pete.
I will also say Nick. Nick is actually a perfect match for her. You know
Yeah, for
why?
sure.
Because they're
Both
both
narcissists.
terrible.
They're
They're
both
just they're
narcissists.
both
Yeah.
they're both horrible. I can't stand either one of them. I want to
I
punch them
think they're.
both in the face.
I think they are legitimate narcissists. Everything is everybody else's fault and not their fault, right?
Yeah.
Every time she does. Sorry, we're not going to go into a deep dive with this. That chick is. She drives me insane.
Yeah.
Drives me insane.
Yeah.
And Nick too. I mean, Nick. I mean, the thing is that there's nothing to like about his character.
No.
Like nothing.
No. His character is there as a punching bag for the audience, essentially.
Yeah. And her, I guess she is too, because there is no excuse for what she does in that show. Anyways, but it's a first episode thing, guys. It didn't ruin anything. It happens like in the first 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So don't worry. Don't
Yeah.
worry. Anyways,
I mean, it's an interesting show. I love watching John Hamm, but
it is. It was. I'm gonna continue watching it.
I'm
Can
gonna
it get
finish
better?
I'm gonna hopefully it comes through at the end. Kind of
Olivia
don't think it will.
Munn.
I kind of hope it's a one and done thing.
Olivia Munn. My goodness. You know who I'm talking about?
No, I don't know who you're talking about.
She is the woman that he has a relationship with.
Ah, I see.
Oof. Yeah, we'll see where it goes. I mean, it has potential. It's just, I don't know. I need it to do a little more. I need John Hamm to get another Don Draper.
Yeah, that's what I was hoping we were gonna get in this, and it's been. I don't want to say it's been
just
tanking, but it's not living up to my expectations for a John Hamm role, unfortunately.
I want John Hamm in a drama, man. This feels a little too comedic.
I'm okay with the funny. It's just like I feel like
Unrealistic.
the first. Well, I mean, it's unrealistic because we're not rich, but the first couple of episodes felt like it felt like
That
there was
hurt,
weight
Zach.
to it. You know?
That hurt.
No, they did a good
No,
job
but
of
for
relating
real.
people who. I mean, I'm not rich. Like I feel like I can
No,
relate
but
to a
all
lot of
these,
things.
but all these rich people, none of them put their alarms on. Not a single one. Not one has a camera.
No. We got. Do we want to get into it? Do we not want to get into it? I don't know.
No,
we should
let's
do
not
like
get
a
into it.
mid-season catch up on the show. Mid-season.
Okay.
We touched
yeah,
on the
let's
first, the first part of it, first couple of episodes in one of our like what are we watching episodes on the channel here. Let's do a mid-season, we'll do a post-season.
do it. Okay, sounds good. That's fair.
All right. Well,
In other news, the NBA playoffs have been about as crazy as ever. As crazy as ever. The Knicks just beat the Celtics. I think Jason Tatum blew his Achilles. I don't know. Horrible injury. And scary, freaky injury. I feel so bad for him. The NBA draft is apparently rigged.
what?
Okay, Luka Doncic gets sent to the Lakers. He gets sent to the Lakers. I know you don't know anything about
I
what I'm
have
talking
no
about.
idea what you're talking about.
I might as well be speaking Chinese right now to you. But Doncic gets sent to the Lakers. It's like sending Michael Jordan to the Celtics in his prime type of thing.
Do you think that's going to
Re-
help me understand what you're saying?
No, but
Okay.
maybe the audience. and then the Dallas Mavericks have the lowest chance to get the number 1 overall pick, and they get the number 1 overall pick, and they're going to go draft the kid out of Duke, Cooper Flag. Or maybe they'll trade it and go get Giannis. I don't know, but it's crazy. It's the craziest season in recent memory. So, anyways, enjoy the playoffs, folks. That's what I'm enjoying. I'm just enjoying sports right now.
Do it. Well, in the meantime, thank you for listening to this episode of Story Archives. You can find this podcast anywhere you find podcasts, Apple and Spotify primarily, or you can visit our website at soapbox.house where you find links to the show on YouTube and our social handles as well.
We will see you next week or this week. Later.
Peace.
Peace.